These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat. Mountain Goat says, so how long will us investors in the IQD have to wait before Iraq is allowed to liberate its own currency? Why do I say now is the time? We know they are completely out of Chapter 7 sanctions since December 2022. We know they want the Iraq funds, nearly USD 115 plus billion, released from the New York banks and put in their custody. We know they have plans for yet more sovereign funds to invest their reserves. We know they're making agreements now for currency swaps for trade, as Iraq will no longer be using any US dollars in Iraq as of January 1st, 2024. We know that the IMF is now working on the final stages of pulling together agreements to build a new basket of 6 currencies to repeg the IQD. More pressure from Iraqi economics advisors to the government to use a basket of currencies for the new dinar peg. This is the IMF plan of 2011 all along. Mountain Goat goes on to say, we know since January they have undertaken a massive de-dollarization program and told it should have taken 6 years, but they decided to do it in 1 year, 2023. Question, why such a hurry? We know the value of the IQD right now does exceed even pre-1991 era, but still at 1/6 of a penny for a rate. Mountain Goat says the value won't go up, it's already there. Why is it being suppressed? Iraq needs to see a rate reflecting the true value. What is holding it back? We know Iraq now pumps 2/3 more oil than in pre-1991 era. Iraq has also announced 132 plus tons of gold reserves. We know they're pushing this year alone more than any other year since 2005 for the passing of oil and gas law. Why? We know for a fact that it is the US through the Treasury Department direction that will not give sign-off to allow the reinstatement. Mountain Goat says, finally, the CBI has told us many times already that January is the most opportune time to reinstate for accounting purposes, since it begins their new fiscal year for accounting purposes. Imminent World Trade Organization full accession. Just be patient. The reinstatement is coming, and I firmly believe, from what we know, there is a very strong likelihood we are not going to be at the banks in the early 2024, but there is still strong hope for the early part of the new year. There is no guarantee, so no one really knows a date when the event will occur. Let's just follow the facts and let's see where they lead us. Iraq is full of surprises, so anything is possible. Frank 26, this is a hypothetical conversation with the CBI. The next phase is to put our currency dinar in a basket. We have control of it, do we not? It's all the way down to 1310/1320, so close to 1200 or 1000. We have control of the auctions, have we not? Yes. We have control over our reserves, have we not? Yes, you have it all. These other currencies don't mind going into a basket with you? No. They don't. They know by going into the basket, supply and demand will be called upon for everyone in the basket. Iraq is the prettiest girl in town. Mark Z via PDK comment, Vietnam is sitting really pretty in their economy. They are main processors of silver. And get this, cinnamon. Mark Z news from Vietnam. Vietnam treads the path to becoming an international financial hub. There is a lot of pressure from countries around the world for Vietnam to move their currency value up. Great things happening there. All right, Militiaman Sadani, I think he's right when he says 2024 is going to be a year of achievement. We haven't seen the spending of the 23 budget, nor have we seen a pumping of that oil just yet, nor have we seen a full-blown accession to the World Trade Organization yet. Why is that? Because we probably have to wait to hear what they have to say when it comes to a real effective exchange rate. Hopefully that's what we see in a very, very short period of time. Claire article quote, for the first time, the assets of Iraqi banks record an unprecedented number. Quote, the volume of assets of Iraqi banks operating in Iraq amounted to more than 202 trillion dinars, which is the first time it has exceeded the barrier of 200 trillion dinars. Frank 26 Iraq Boots on the Ground report Firefly. Banking news today on Channel 1 for the first time ever, telling us our bank in Iraq have recorded assets over $200 trillion. News says accounts are up all over the place. Frank says, I kept telling you, you have no idea how much they have to back up their currency. That's just assets. You also have futures in the ground, contracts that have been signed, supply and demand of the basket. I get the chills thinking about the power of this nation. Pimpy article quote unshackling the Iraqi dinar. Iraq possesses over 100 billion in reserves parked at the US banks, rendering it dependent on US officials' goodwill. Pimpy says, I was speaking about this before. The United States has to approve almost everything the Iraqi government does, which means Iraq is not in a good position. The reason for that is they have to do whatever the American government wants. You think they're going to have what's best for the Iraqi people? No. They're more interested in these big corporations and doing what they can do to hold down the value of the Iraqi dinar. Right, Guru Fnulu, I really don't know if I'm saying that the right way. Hopefully somebody can tell me how to say that properly. Says, I'm believing that the dinar will revalue and very, very soon. It only makes sense that it will come out high, perhaps $10, and they will allow it to settle. This gives Iraq a big advantage for buying reconstruction materials, paying contractors, then allow it to settle downward to reach around 390 to 420. Frank 26 question, how long will it take for us to update the IQD price? Instantly, I'm sorry, they meant US. As I'm reading this. Instantly, the moment the CBI pulls the switch on the new exchange rate, it's electronic, it will pop up everywhere. Militiaman 0.006 or 0.0007 as far as exchange rates concerned, when they drop the 3 zeros off, makes a big difference. Do a little math, get a calculator, see what the difference is when you have 0.0007 to the dollar and you drop those 3 zeros and see what the calculation is. You can see there's a big difference. It's phenomenal, wonderful stuff. Lastly, Paulette, community comment. We've been told in the last couple of weeks we may only have 30 days to exchange, no one knows, and that we may not be able to take advantage of any float. I don't think the 30 days is a probability. It certainly may be a possibility. I hope not for many reasons. This is a speculative investment.